Okay, good afternoon. Let us start today's current affairs. Yesterday, as you all know, Global Entrepreneurship Summit was held at Hyderabad. Ivanka have come, Donald Trump's daughter, and Modi also came to Hyderabad, and Modi also inaugurated metro rail in Hyderabad. And in that GES, Global Entrepreneurship Summit, Mitra, the robot, stolen the show. The Made in India robot, Mitra is Made in India robot, have stolen the show in the GES. It have stole the show. Mitra is an indigenous robot developed by a 2-year-old startup. Mitra is developed by a 2-year-old startup called Invento. Invento Robotics Bangalore. INVENTO. Invento Robotics Bangalore. Mitra has been completely designed and developed. Mitra has been completely designed and developed in India. The idea behind the robot was to provide customized and contextual information to the people. Customized and contextual information to the people. Mitra, the indigenous robot in India, can provide services for around 10 to 12 hours continuously with a single charging. When you go for a single full charge, Mitra can give continuous 12-hour service with a single charging. This is about Mitra and Global Entrepreneurship Summit. Already you all know that women first, prosperity for all. Women first, prosperity for all is the theme. So next important current affairs today is Mount Agung. Mount Agung. AGUNG. Mount Agung. Mount Agung is erupting for the second time. Mount Agung is erupting for the second time in less than a week in Bali. In Bali we have Mount Agung. It have erupted for the second time less than a week. So 2 times there is eruption in this week of Mount Agung. AGUNG, Agung. Next, B.N. Sharma have become the chairman to National Anti-Profiteering Authority. B.N. Sharma have become the chairman to National Anti-Profiteering Authority. As you all know, few days back, the cabinet have approved the creation of National Anti-Profiteering Authority under GST. Under GST, the benefits of tax changes should be disbursed to customers. It should not be taken as undue advantage to the businesses. So for that end, National Anti-Profiteering Authority was created. For that end, National Anti-Profiteering Authority was created. And now the chairman of National Anti-Profiteering Authority was B.N. Sharma, a 1985 batch IAS officer. B.N. Sharma is a 1985 batch IAS officer. Next important current affairs. November 28th is a day of solidarity for Palestinians. PM Modi in his speech reasserted India's stand on Palestine. Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi in his speech reasserted India's stand on Palestine. From last 2 years, there is a issue revolving around India-Israel relations. As we all know, Modi visited Israel for the first time. The first Prime Minister to visit Israel is Modi. The first Prime Minister to visit Israel is Narendra Modi. And now the world is looking at India's stand on Palestine. The world is waiting to know what is the present India's stand on Palestine. And Modi opened up his mouth yesterday and he told that India still supports a good solution for Palestinian issue. India still supports for a good solution in the Palestinian issue. In a statement on International Day of Solidarity, in a statement on the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people, PM Modi said, India will continue to support nation building activities of Palestinians. India will continue to support nation building activities of Palestinians. Good current affairs and important current affairs today. And apart from that, you have freedom first. Today's editorial is freedom first. The editorial is about the case of Akila case in Kerala. Akila converted into Islam and her name is changed into Hadia. Akila converted into Islam and her name is changed into Hadia. Hadia now is allowed to go to Salem and to continue her studies. The High Court of Kerala said her marriage is voidable because she was under vulnerable age of 25 years old. The High Court of Kerala considered that the age of Hadia is still vulnerable, 25 years. And Hadia's father in his affidavit told Hadia might convert into IS activist. There is apprehension that there was an indoctrination to Hadia. But the Supreme Court told in the historic judgment, an apprehension or a pretension or a fear of indoctrination cannot obstruct the autonomy of the human freedoms, cannot obstruct the autonomy of the individual. This is a famous Hadia judgment. Freedom of movement, freedom of religion is given to every individual. Mere apprehensions or mere obscure facts cannot obstruct anybody's freedom. So this is the famous judgment. And the next article is written by Shiv Vishwanathan, as usual regular Shiv Vishwanathan article, but this time the scope of the article, the content of the article is Aam Aadmi Party. As you all know, Aam Aadmi Party started 5 years back, and Aam Aadmi Party, the name itself says Aam Aadmi, for a common man. And when Aam Aadmi Party have actually come up and the person like Arvind Kejriwal have taken up a cause, and everybody thought India is going to see a change, and idealistically the party started, and for the first time after many years people voted trusting really good governance, particularly Delhiites voted for a good governance. Idealism to realism, Aam Aadmi Party travelled, and many idealistic leaders like Anna Hazare inspired Aam Aadmi Party, but unfortunately again the party have become a rhetoric political party rather than a changer, harbinger of change in the Indian politics. Let us hope at least in future times all political parties will bring a good change in the Indian politics, where money power, muscle power, corruption, influence, nepotism and favoritism will not work out in any political party only for political strength and political support, that too for the cause of the people. Next important article is on Nepal's new constitution and Nepal's elections. Next article is about Nepal's constitution and Nepal's elections. As you all know, in the 2015 year, Nepal got a new constitution. Nepal got a secular constitution, federal constitution, and Nepal constitution received criticism also. The reason is, in the constitution there is no proper protection for minority groups in the country. Madeshis and Janjatis are considered as minorities in the Nepal. Here the problem is, they were minority groups. Here the problem is, in the Nepal the provinces are divided in such a way that, in the Nepal the states or the provinces are divided in such a way that in every province the Madeshis are minority. They have divided the provinces parallelly, something like on the top of the place and on the bottom. You all know Madeshis are located in the Terai region, mostly in the bottom areas in Nepal. In such a way the provinces were divided that in every state Madeshis are the minority. In every state Madeshis are the minority. So you all know the politics and political parties right now in the election fray in Nepal. First phase of election is over. almost around 65% voting turnout have come, around 65% voting turnout have come, and people are actually expecting development. But the grave thing in the Nepal's political situation is today, all political parties are worrying about politics and power mongering rather than development of Nepal and economic development of Nepal. What people need is the development of Nepal, and what political parties are expecting is power. The entire election was fought now on power politics, not just on developmental politics. That is a major problem. And next important article in today's newspaper, the article is not completely related to India, but the content of the article is related to India. Trophy hunting. There is a term called trophy hunting, TROPHY, trophy hunting. Trophy hunting is a recreational hunting to collect and show off that we can kill this animal, selected animal or a rare species, and that particular body part or the head or the tusk, something or the horn, something will be preserved to show off. Earlier in the olden days, kings used to do that. I have killed the lion, I have killed the tiger, I have killed the elephant. That is a pride to them, killing the wild animals which are rare and selected species. But trophy hunting is disastrous to biodiversity, is disastrous to endangered species, critically endangered species and vulnerable species. The reason is, generally we are working for the conservation of nature. When you go on trophy hunting, it is something that it is mysterious, it is against the protection of wildlife. So it is not good, and it is not covered in the article, but before last year there is a big news, that is in Africa, ivory trade. Most of the elephants are being killed for the cause of ivory. Their tusks contain ivory. Elephants are being killed, their tusks are removed for the ivory. That is one thing. Second thing, even in India, lions, tigers were hunted, basically tigers, for their body parts. So it could cause in the future species extinction. The entire species might get extinct if you go for trophy hunting regularly. If you allow trophy hunting regularly, the entire species might get extinct. In the article, there is a mention about what is straight horned marker, MARKHOR. What is straight horned marker, MARKHOR? It is a species of wild goat found in Pakistan. Very important prelims question. What is straight horned marker, MARKHOR? Species of wild goat found in Pakistan. Species of wild goat found in Pakistan. See, in this straight horned marker, still the issue is it might extinct. Here I wish to add a point. We have one-horned rhinos special to India. For their horns, the rhinos are being killed. At that time, once the Assam government thought, we will remove horns to the rhinos so that they will not be killed. But again the decision was dropped. The horns of the rhinos will be used for medicine. Traditional Chinese medicine and Indian medicine, to increase the potency in the males. For that reason, horns of the one-horned rhinos is very, very important for medicinal purposes. So they are being killed. So this type of killing of animals for their parts is not uncommon to the world, but again it has to be protected in order to protect the biodiversity. Next important thing news today is the Central Board of Direct Taxes has set up a new task force. The Central Board of Direct Taxes has set up a new task force to draft appropriate direct tax code. A fresh direct tax legislation. It is being headed by Arvind Modi. A fresh direct tax code to recommend the provisions for that, to recommend provisions, particularly recent Aadhaar judgment, you have right to privacy. Earlier in IT Act 1961, the privacy issues are not being addressed, such and seizure issues. Now many amendments has to made for IT Act. For that reason, under Arvind Modi's chairmanship, a new task force was constituted to recommend new provisions to direct tax code to amend Income Tax Act 1961. Earlier also we have many such committees: Mahavir Tyagi Committee, Vanchu Commission, Chalaya Committee, Chakse Committee, Eradi Committee, and Kelkar Task Force. There are various committees relating to that. Mahavir Tyagi Committee. First committee is Mahavir Tyagi Committee. Vanchu Commission, WANCHOO, Vanchu Commission. Challaya Committee, CHELLAIAH, Challaya Committee. Chakse Committee, CHAKSEY, Chakse Committee, and Eradi Committee, ERADI, Eradi Committee, Kelkar Committee. All these committees are earlier appointed to recommend about the new tax code, but let us see how Arvind Modi committee is doing to work on this. Next important current affairs is Chabahar first phase was completed and it is being inaugurated on December 3rd by Iran President. Chabahar port is located in Iran. It is highly a strategic port, and India, China and all the countries have their interest in Chabahar port, and the first phase of Chabahar port is being inaugurated on December 3rd by the Iranian President. Next important news from Hindu paper today. The most crucial article today is an article, Rethink School Education. There is a very important article, Rethink School Education. Rethink School Education. In Rethink School Education, the article starts with Amartya Sen's book, where he mentioned Rabindranath Tagore quote. Amartya Sen's book, where he mentioned Rabindranath Tagore quote. There are important points in the article. The article discusses about education system in India. India is boasting that India is faring well in education in the primary levels, in the school levels. But in fact, India is in the embarrassing position. In the OECD data, India is not even comparison with OECD countries with respect to children reading skills, comprehension skills and other skills who are 15 years old. 15 years old children in India cannot perform most of the skills. Basic reading and comprehension skills. India is least performing countries in the OECDs. And here, last year, there is an SR report, Annual Survey on Education Report, ASER. In that, 5th class student is unable to do 2nd class English and Maths, unable to read 2nd class textbooks. 5th class student is unable to read 2nd class textbooks. This is the problem. And the article also is apprehensive about focusing on private schools rather than government schools. Why don't you increase the quality of education in government schools rather than more and more shifting the children from government schools to private schools? And the article contains lot of data. Number 1, in India, the children from primary education to upper primary level, those who have completed their primary education, only half of them will go to upper primary level. And in that, again from upper primary level to secondary level, not even 25 million will go. Not even half of them will go. In India, we have 10 lakh primary schools. And then next stage is not even 5 lakh secondary and higher schools. Coming to senior higher schools, not even 1.5 lakh. That is a problem. Even teachers in India, there is a shortage of teachers in India. Primary school teachers around 1 million and teacher shortage also is in India. For all these reasons, you have the issue. India started Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan for universal primary education, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan for secondary education, and Rashtriya Uchitar Shiksha Abhiyan for higher education. In spite of that, we are not faring that well in education. So it is not just enrollment, it is not just attendance, it is a quality that is important in education. It is not enrollment, it is not just attendance, it is a quality which is important in education. Here, rethink school education, star mark article for exam. It might come for essay, general essay. For general essay, this data is very important. Kindly collect the data. Kindly collect the data. So this data is very important for the things. And it was told that we have less than 1,50,000 secondary schools for 1.3 billion population. We have less than 1.3 secondary schools for 1.5 billion 1.3 billion population. All this data you have to consider. Okay, these are the current affairs.